All right, well, welcome back.
Rock and roll.
We got another product review.
Uh-huh.
We noticed that you guys seem to like these a little bit more than everything else, so we're going to try and do more of these. So
Yep.
if you haven't yet, we just got done reviewing the Mizuno M-Craft putters. Make sure and go back and check out that video if you're interested in a nice milled putter. But that putter, the Mizuno, was the #2 ranked putter on MyGolfSpy's, I want to call it the hot list, but I know that's not right.
Yeah, whatever their putter list is for the new stuff.
Their website. And today we have, and I've done some research on this, so I actually know some stuff for once. The tied for #1 ranked putter on that same list. And this is the EvnRoll. This happens to be the ER2 putter, which is it's technically a blade, but Scotty Cameron fastback style, that kind of.
Double wide.
Yeah, it's just a little deeper of a head, I guess, is the best way to put it. So it's a Newport head that's just longer, deeper. So, so in doing some research, I found out that this is an incredibly hard putter to find, apparently. It has been sold out since the day it came out.
Really?
From EvnRoll, so you can find it in a retailer. That's your only chance, pretty much. They have other models that you can find, but a couple of different media outlets dubbed it. So I was watching a video the other day from Golf Digest, maybe, and they said, "Why is this the most popular putter in golf that no one's ever heard of?"
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. You cannot find it. It was hard to find. Have you ever heard of them prior to us having a conversation?
I've heard of them. Actually, a guy that takes lessons from me has one. Not this one. He's got a satin one, and he's had it for a while.
Okay. Does he have this grip or not?
No, he does not.
Okay.
No, he just I think he has a super stroke or something on it. I'm not sure.
Gotcha. So he re-gripped it himself. So this is, like I said, this is the EvnRoll ER2. It is designed by, I'm gonna mess this name up, Garen Reif.
I'm not even going to read that.
So Garen Reif, don't believe he's an owner in the company. I think he just designs these for them. But their big thing is the groove system and how it works. So whether you hit it heel to toe, a little miss, not a big miss, it is supposed to come off as even as anything, hence the EvnRoll. The idea is that it's going to come off evenly regardless of where you hit it. Now your feel's going to change, some of those types of things like it will any putter. It is a milled putter. The grooves do only encompass that section of the face. So it is smooth on the edges / the EvnRoll logo. I've actually been kind of trying to hunt one down since we started doing these videos, and it took 2 months, and I finally got one.
Found it.
So standard steel shaft, nothing fancy. It is very simply powder coated in black, and then the grip. So this came out. The heads came out about 2 years ago. They won Best in Show at PGA Show one of those years for this particular head.
Okay.
This grip came out last year. So this is the EvnRoll Gravity Grip 1.0. So the deal with this grip is that there is a steel rod. So the shaft would be right here, but right over here there's a small steel rod that's running in parallel to the shaft. It's supposed to help with the connection, so it's not necessarily a counterbalance thing. It's more of a connection thing. But it brings the weight to the hands. We've had this conversation before. I'm a big fan of that. This came in like 2 days ago. I played one round with it yesterday. I can tell you, I love it. I was more consistent. Putting is my, oh God, what's wrong with my game? I just don't do it enough. But this is in the bag after one round because
good stuff.
I'm typically a even par, a few over. If I don't practice, if I practice, I can get a little under. That's kind of where I live now in my golfing career. That I don't care to necessarily spend a ton of time to do much more.
Just go play.
And I shot. I shot 68 yesterday and had 3 eagles with it, one short par 4 and 2 par 5s. But I felt like everything inside of 15 feet should have dropped. And when it didn't, it was not its fault. It was my fault because I either misread it, and there was one little, let's say, distance issue.
Went off in your hand a little bit?
Well, not the other way. It helps if you don't hit the ground first.
Oh.
That's just getting used to a putter as far as distance control and all that. So you really haven't seen much or heard about it. What are your initial, oh God, shocky.
Yeah.
This room is statically charged. What are your thoughts initially just kind of looking at that?
I mean, I was putting with that Mizuno, black shaft, black head on there.
I like the black look personally.
Looks very good. Very good. I also like, and I'm assuming you'll get picture of it. I know you'll have picture of it, but we've got kind of your, your strike line in the back of it, but then also the 2 little dots right above it.
Just for the top line, just to have something to kind of, and those dots are dead in the middle of.
And I don't know I mean, as far as the grip goes,
It's different.
It's different, but it feels very good. Like my initial, like as soon as I get a hold of it, it feels like Ryan was saying, there's that rod back there, that weight, and it feels like it just like sets back into my hands, if that makes sense. So it's like, as I'm sitting right here, you know, it feels like the putter is sold on the ground pretty good, and it just kind of hangs in your hands.
Yeah, just like any other putter. I mean, you can make it a little flat and all those types of things. That is actually about a degree flat, so that could be some of it as well. Again, I did purchase a putter with the intent for me, and this is not sponsored by them. This is not anything. I bought this putter because I wanted to try it really badly, and I thought that it would have a shot of being in the bag, and I was right.
It looks good and feels good. I mean, just setup of it.
Yeah, balance of it.
Balance is.
And I will say that I'm not a big fan of anything that's chrome. I just don't like it. I wear glasses when I play, and so sun hitting anything chrome is made worse with glasses. So if I can brush nickel it, black out.
Yeah, let's roll some. Even roll.
Maybe they'll roll evenly.
And maybe I need to be on the search for a new putter.
So just like the Mizuno video, which is hopefully out by now, we are putting inside on a TrackMan system. There is a slight jump down from the mat we're putting on to the mat that is going down to.
Well, that's right in the center of it.
Yeah, so one of the big things that sold me on this when I was messing around with them was, you know, we talked about in the last one, when you guys are looking at these numbers that are up here on the TrackMan unit, that plus or minus, obviously Aaron's only hit one, so it's not going to be that one 108 inches.
Well, and let's so here's another little disclosure thing. So on TrackMan, we're looking straight down the line, and I have like a little T or something set up down there.
Marker.
So TrackMan's reading the golf ball, okay? Whenever something disrupts the golf ball up there,
like a net?
Tee or another golf ball or something like that, you get
distances.
That clearly did not go 107 feet. It just got to the screen. So
the hottest putter ever made.
Yeah. So kind of take that with a grain of salt, like it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll probably
we really want to look at here is roll percentage.
Yes.
And your club path face angle and launch direction. Those are really the numbers that we really want to focus on.
Yeah. We will do a full. Like that one just hit the golf ball that I just putted. Probably going to get something different looking up there, but face, path, all that kind of stuff, that's spot on. That's great. I mean,
I was about to say, your club path is at 0.2 on that last putt, face angle is a degree close, and then your launch direction minus 0.9. All of those things are essentially square.
Face angle is plus or minus 0.2 degrees.
In two putts,
in two putts.
And that's their big thing, is between this grip and that head, and really all of their heads. Their heads are all designed the same, they're just kind of aesthetically different. But the idea is that the consistency in how that ball comes off of the face in conjunction with that grip is that it's the most repeatable motion putter that's ever been made. That's kind of the MO of the company and what they're trying to do.
Okay.
I will say that they do. It's kind of like this new wave of golf stuff, like the Bad Birdie stuff you guys are wearing. It's this kind of new mentality. It's not necessarily classic golf and how they approach things. They're taking a very outside the box approach to a lot of those things. Even in the naming of it, obviously that's not, ER is not that complicated to figure out. It stands for EvnRoll. And then the numbers are, there's a 2 and there's a 2.2. The 2.2 is a plumber's neck version of that. But then like when you, for instance, instead of it being blacked out, which most people, they call murdered out.
Yeah.
Which I didn't quite realize it was called that until it showed up, and I see a box that just said all murdered. I went, oh, hi.
Murder, Ja Rule.
Right.
Throwback.
But it's,
good.
And I've obviously played with this, so I'm not going to roll it a bunch. Aaron has not. So you got the first take from him. And so since then, I have essentially been searching for a putter. Solid 14, 15 years now.
I mean, that thing's pretty good.
Yeah, like I said, the feel is not quite as probably solid as like a Scotty Cameron or even those Mizunos. It's a little more pingy feeling. That's something that's always bothered me a little bit, but considering how many times, well, we don't know, how consistent I put this ball on the spot I needed it to be with a good roll, I don't care.
Yeah.
If it goes in the hole, you start to care less what it feels like.
Yep. Yeah, when the ball goes in, doesn't matter near as much what it looks like, what it feels like.
Right. I think for me too, the grip.
The grip's that grip's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, so it's like a Super Stroke. It is slightly tapered. So it's not, a Super Stroke is traditionally a parallel grip, which means it's the same thickness at the top as it is at the bottom, so it's straight lines. This is not completely rounded. I know Super Stroke has the flat, which has a flat front. This does have a flat front.
And they've got their, what's that other one they have? The one that's made for like the claw or the pistol or whatever. They got that one.
Oh,
that's
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Kind of goes narrow and gets bigger coming at you, kind of like a pistol grip on it.
It is. It's a lot like a pistol grip, but I know what you're talking about. This one is, it's thicker this way and thinner this way. The reason why I like that is because something I truly struggle with in my putter grip is I don't like to go with all these crazy putter grips. I grip the putter almost the exact same way I grip a full swing shot. So I interlock one finger. That's how I grip my putter. Now, when I had like a smaller, like one of those Mizunos, in fact, let's just steal it real quick. Like one of these Mizuno grips, which is just a standard pistol, pretty small. When I do that, my hands, just like in a regular club, want to come over the top. And now that's great for a full swing shot, not so much for a putter.
Yeah.
You know, you want your palms as square as possible. So what this does is it allows me to grip it how I want, but then that putter stays in those palms.
Yeah, thumbs go straight down.
Yeah, and then it stays nicely. I think that's the biggest feel difference for me, that I feel like when I set up like that, I'm just good. I'm good to go now. And I can just putt however I would normally putt. Except for that one was bad.
Don't worry about that little guy.
Yeah, that little guy. You're not supposed to hit it off the logo. So, again, it's, it felt awful, but at the same time too, that's right there is a perfect testament of I hit that here. And I'm not kidding, it was over here. But if you look at my club path is okay, but typically when you hit a putter on the heel like that, what happens to the golf ball?
Well, I mean, number one, it's going to be slowing down a little bit when you're missing off that. Roll's going to change, but you're probably not going to get a 0.1 launch direction.
Well, I was going to say launch direction and bounces, because typically when you hit it on the side of a groove like that off the heel, because you have more stability closer to that shaft you get, that is going to cause it to, when you skid, it's going to crank that axis just a little bit, which means when it does skid, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, it's going to hit and want to jump a little bit right.
Throws a little spin axis on it.
Kind of like almost like getting topspin when you go to the heel. It kind of wants to, when it spins, just jump off line right. Well, now we're talking micros here, but that can cause you to miss putt.
Yep.
You know, we're not talking about a 20-yard miss on a driver being okay. We're talking about, you know, fractions of inches here, because that's the difference in putting and driving. And so for it to come off at a 0.1 launch direction and the alpha face angle of 2, but I know I hit it way out here, tells me that there's something to this.
Something there.
Because I hit that, it was bad. It was here. It was really bad, actually. So
I'm impressed with it. I kind of get the same. I know we talked about that lab putter. I kind of get the same kind of thought. You know, their grooves run all the way across the face. The same kind of theory, I think, in some of that of not losing speed, not losing launch, those kinds of things. Right. Where it's coming off that way.
Yeah, so instead of theirs, and again, I'll get a close-up of it, but when you're looking at this, and I'll let you see it, if you look closely at the grooves, you can see how much thicker they are in the middle than they are to the side. Yep. So that's where that EvnRoll comes from. And so it adjusts based on how you hit the club adjusts to that, essentially. Not physically, but it's just designed that way. Like I said, I putted out of my mind yesterday, and typically that's, if I two-putt a green from 10 feet, we're
solid today.
We're good. And no three putts is, there's typically one three putting around for me. That's just how my putting is now. I just don't, I'm not confident in it. And then yesterday dropped, and I had no three putts. I actually was starting to putt from off the green. Typically, I don't care if I'm this far off the green, I'll get an 8-iron and put it on the toe and putt chip thing it before I'll grab a putter. And one of my birdies I hold from 15 feet off the green with a putter. I accidentally hit the chip with it too one time. I was lazy and didn't want to go back, and I was down the hill. I didn't think I was down. So, but yeah, I'm super impressed with this putter. I think there's a reason why it's hard to find. This model is particularly, I don't know why this model is harder to find. They have a handful of them that in stock, fine, ship now. And they have about half the line that's just good luck. Yeah. This is one of that half line. And even this, it did not come with the gravity grip on it. I had to buy the grip separate and
get it put on. You put it on.
I put it on. Yeah. I know how to do stuff, Aaron.
Yeah. Gripping.
Yeah, it's not real hard. So, anyway, even
I mean, my overall take's good, like 100%. Throw it in with the Mizuno that we talked about. Put it in with all of them. I mean, that's a good rolling putter.
The amount of golf clubs that should be in the conversation now, whether you're looking at irons, metalwoods, putters, wedges,
A lot more.
It's getting bigger. I'm really curious to see what the major manufacturers, and I say major, I mean, these guys are a major manufacturing, but at the same time too, they're not on the same scale. Like they don't make as many of these as Scotty makes, Scotty cameras. But I'm really curious to see over the next kind of handful of years what TaylorMade, Titleist, Ping, Callaway, all those big guys do, because I think you're going to start to see more, and I'm going to call this
some smaller players.
Yeah, and I don't mean this. I don't mean artisan golf here in Fort Worth. I mean like artisan style putters where there's a lot more time and effort put into each individual unit.
Yeah.
That's made.
Not mass manufactured type.
Yeah,
stuff.
which
Still,
this is manufactured, but one person made this from start to finish. It wasn't. Here's grooves on something. Here you go, bud. And then here's where they're going to stamp. Here you go. And somebody else doing this.
8 different hands touching the putter.
Going down the line. It's very much so more of a craft that's been built, and it's, you can kind of tell that in the balance of the whole thing and all that. So anyway, I got long-winded on that one. Sorry.
It's good. EvnRoll.
I like to talk.
Give it a look. So yeah, EvnRoll for sure. That is a player. If you can if you can find one, or know somebody that has one, go roll some with it. I guess get on the waiting list.
I was gonna say, if you want to try this one, specifically this one, because the only one I got, you know, you can holler, you can jump online, shoot us an email or something at Maverick Performance Golf, or even get online with them, with Aaron and BJ at 1611, and they can make the connection. I'll come up there and let you guys roll it. Again, not the easiest thing to find in the world, but if you ever want to just try one, I was already nicking it.
Obviously, he was not very careful with his putter yesterday.
I'm blaming you today. It was BJ's fault.
I'm banging against the wall already.
But yeah, anyway, so if you can't get a hold of me, get a hold of them, we'll figure it out, and we'll let you come give her a try on the TrackMan, see if your consistency numbers get better or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank y'all for checking in.
Thank you guys so much.